Hello everybody, I'm Mariana Soto and today I'm going to be talking about, oh my god, I look so tall. I'm going to be talking about the assignments that we did in RWS 1301 and what my experience was, and what I learned overall. So for the social issue that I chose to focus on for the entire semester was bullying, because even though it is something that is talked a lot in schools and in the community, I still feel like it's worth investigating because, girl, like, everyone has gone through something like that, and I wanted to gain insider info on why people were doing the bullying, how did they feel when, if like they were the ones being bullied, like what's going on. I started by doing, first assignment that we did, we had to do a topic interview that was about our social issues. So I decided to interview my boss from my job that I now quit, and he told me how he used to bully people and how he was bullied as well and how that made him feel. I really liked doing this assignment because it made me like gain more insider perspective on how people feel about the situation, like what they've gone through because of it. And I feel like it makes me understand people who have been bullied severely in a deeper level, because back then, like, bullying was crazy. Like, nowadays it's more like focused on cyberbullying and like hate comments online, things like that. If not, then people just like block each other, whatever. But back then, girl, it was crazy. Okay, so next I'm going to talk about the genre analysis. So the genre analysis was like a 4 to 6 page, why did I say like that? A 4 to 6 page essay, and it was basically comparing and contrasting two forms of communication. What's it called? Medias of communication? Hold on. Yeah, genres of communication. It was basically comparing and contrasting two forms of genres of communication. So for my communication genres, I chose a series that on Netflix that was 13 Reasons Why, and then a novel that's called Perks of Being a Wallflower, which is also a movie, but in this case I chose to focus it more on the novel. So I started talking about the series, which is also a novel, by the way, but I don't read the novel, which is looking fake, but it's okay. Don't cover me, professor, don't cover me. I also enjoyed this project because I felt like I got to dissect the way that both of these forms of communications really like project their like theme through like color grading or like music, things like that. Like I felt like I really got to like dissect the series as well as like the novel. I feel like the imagery that was in it really got to give the reader, the audience, like a sense of empathy for the characters that were being bullied, and was really a lot of pathos in here in both of these genres, both of the communications. There's a lot of pathos because you know, bullying is a really sensitive topic, I feel like, because it can really get extreme in some points. Okay, like as we know, or most people know, Hannah Baker went as far as committing like suicide because she was getting bullied severely, and it really showed how isolated she felt. Even though she did have some friends, like Clay, for example, like nobody was understanding what she was going through, and it just can really be mentally degrading on your mental health, self-esteem, confidence, a lot of things, and sometimes it's really unbearable for some people. As for Perks of Being a Wallflower, it also did really show like the severity of bullying, but it also showed how you can find yourself through those hard times, you know, like even though you feel like you've hit rock bottom, you can always find a community that like has maybe also went through the same things that you have, or maybe like also relates to like what you like, and you can just hang out with them and just discover like who you are. So it was more of like self-identity and like self-discovering, like a journey basically. And yeah. Okay, so for the next assignment that we did, it was the local fieldwork assignment. So for this one, we had to create a primary and secondary research. I had to create a survey, and it consisted of three yes or no questions and then one short answer question. So for my 3 yes or no questions, I wrote, have you been bullied, yes or no? Should someone tell an adult if they're being bullied, yes or no? Do you think online bullying and in-person, like face-to-face bullying, has the same effect as one another, yes or no? And what are some effective ways we can spread awareness about bullying? Short answer. So for the survey response, I decided to focus on one of the questions, which was, have you ever been bullied? 90% of the people said yes, 1% said no. I got a total of 11 responses. Girl, we know you're lying. We know you're lying. I feel like at least everyone in their life has or will experience bullying. Okay, like no matter where you come from, how you look like, what you do, how you act, you are going to get bullied at one point in your life. Okay, it's just a canon event that everyone goes through. And if you haven't gotten bullied, girl, you're in for a treat. As for my short answer question, I interviewed my now ex-boyfriend. Basically, he said that one of the best ways to spread awareness about bullying would be through social media, because everyone's on social media. People would start posting personalized stories or videos, quote unquote, of their experiences. And then for my secondary resource, I did the local El Paso ISD district webpage, and I just like went based off of that. They had like PSA announcements and tools that could help students who were going through bullying. For the next assignment, I did the border fieldwork. We didn't do too good on this one, but girl, we passed. We got a good grade, so it's okay. Basically, this one was just to choose 2 different types of citations, and then just create like 2 annotated bibliographies, like, well, one of each, you know, but it was 2, so there was 2 annotated bibliographies. This one was pretty easy. It was pretty self-explanatory. It was just like 2 pages worth It wasn't like 4 to 6, so it was chill, it was light. Yeah, didn't really stand out to me, but girl, it was cool, it was easy, it was good. For my last and most favorite assignment, we did the multimodal assignment. So for this one, we had to work in a group. It was optional to work alone, but I did it with my group. So my group was basically filled of students who are majoring in nursing or something healthcare related. So we decided for our social issue for that assignment, let's do something based off of healthcare. So we decided to choose people who don't have healthcare, health insurance, things like that, and how it can affect a person and how severe it is. So for this assignment, we had to create a PSA poster, a PSA video that had to be 6 minutes long, and a 150-word description of our social issue. For this one, we all had to collaborate. I was one of the actors in the video. I was the one that didn't have health insurance, and one of my other teammates was the girl who like the pharmacist and the doctor, because everyone was too scared to be the pharmacist, so she had to play both roles. Everyone else, they also pitched in. One of them edited the video, another one did the PSA poster, and another one did the 150-word description. So yeah, I really enjoyed collaborating with my teammates. I feel like this is way better than doing like a whole bunch of essays. Like, I don't care if it's cringe, girl. I much rather do this, that's like hanging out with friends and doing something fun, over just like sitting in your room staring at a blank screen just trying to figure out what to say next. Like, argue with the wall, but like I think that this was 100 times better than an essay. Yeah, so overall I really enjoyed this class. I really love how I got to interact with everyone. It was such a healthy environment. I really liked the vibe of the class, and I learned a lot. I learned more about English, more how to collaborate with teammates, and more about my personal social issue, how to do more research, and I hope that the next year's class enjoys it as much as I did. So thank you for listening. Bye.